Hey, what is going on, guys? My name is LuckyBunz, and in today's Pokemon Go video, we're going to talk about something that unfortunately has to be talked about again. Accounts are wrongfully being banned / flagged once again in Pokemon Go. Now, we do have a lot to talk about in this video, so this one may run a little bit long, but I have broken down everything with timestamps below, so in case you guys just want to skip to any certain part of the video, I encourage you to do so. With that being said though, specifically on this video, if you could hit that like button and just leave a comment down below, it would really help out with the algorithm and kind of getting this awareness out there and overall just educating players who don't really understand how these wrongful ban waves work. This has happened a few times in Pokemon Go, and so we're going to dive into some of the history regarding the false positive ban waves. And yeah, I've actually been affected by this in the past as well, and it took me about 8 months to get my account back, so I do know what you're going through if you were affected. Stay strong. Honestly, it's a difficult thing to go through after investing so much time and energy into the game. So first things first, I know that when people hear that accounts were wrongfully banned / flagged, the immediate thought is that they were spoofing or they were doing something that was against the terms of service and therefore the ban was justified. So unfortunately, this is more or less the status quo when it comes down to getting banned in any video game, is that you were doing something wrong and that the game developers, obviously caught you cheating and therefore gave you a ban on your account. But of course, we've seen this plenty of times in the past now where Niantic has actually just given players false positive bans, meaning that they were banned for something that they didn't do. And even though they appealed the ban, they ultimately had no luck getting their account back until evidence from the community, like the collective community, found out what was actually wrong, brought it to Niantic's attention, and then they were actually able to reverse quite a number of bans. But unless the Pokemon Go community does that, nothing really happens. So yeah, we're going to talk about that right now. The most recent false positive ban wave that honestly made some noise was the Xiaomi phones. So that was a time period where basically if you had a Xiaomi phone, like a certain version of it, your account was getting wrongfully flagged and wrongfully suspended / banned. And it was just because of the software on that phone, or like something was conflicting with Niantic's detection system where it was just banning players who were playing off those phones. This took about a few weeks to actually get resolved, and then people were able to get their accounts back. I'm not sure if everyone got their accounts back, but like the majority of players that were wrongfully banned, they did end up getting their accounts back. Now, the only reason they were actually able to get their accounts back, though, is because of the numerous Reddit threads that made the top of the page on Sylph Road and on the regular Pokemon Go subreddits. So you had that, then you also had the Twitter Pokemon Go community speaking up about this, and because it made so much noise, Niantic basically just couldn't ignore it. And that's essentially the situation that we're in right now that we're going to talk a little bit later about. So if you did get wrongfully banned, you do have a good chance of getting your account back because this is going to make some noise. It's the reason I'm making this video for all of you out there who are affected. I still get messages to this day about people getting wrongfully banned in this game. And, at the end of the day, I can't do much about it. The only thing you could really do is appeal the ban and deal with Niantic support, as bad as they are sometimes. But when it comes down to these waves, right, this is something where if I made a video, it might make a small difference in just educating players and just kind of spreading awareness and information out there. So anyways, long story short, there was that ban wave, right, with the Xiaomi phones. And then we can go back a little bit further to 2018, the summer before Trading and Friendship were released in game. There was a massive ban wave, and my account was actually wrongfully flagged in that mix. This was a really devastating blow to my account because I had put in so much time and effort to build it up as a free-to-play account. I've never spent money on the game, and I got wrongfully flagged. I literally appealed so many times. It was just the biggest slap in the face. I missed out on so much content because I actually didn't get my account back until 8 months later. This is also around the time that Niantic implemented their 3-strike system. They started, kind of messing around with different ways to ban certain players. Like, they were ultimately trying to target spoofers, but legit players ended up getting caught in that mix. Me, of course, being one of them. And while some players ended up getting their account back, within those 3 months following that ban wave, I unfortunately got caught in limbo for some reason, and I didn't get my account back for like 8 months, and I had to constantly send appeals, and eventually one of them went through thanks to, I think, I can't say this is a confirmation, but I think because of one of the Niantic employees that I spoke to on Twitter. But that, of course, is not confirmed. That's just a hunch on my part. I like to think that she honestly had a part in that, and I just got a little bit lucky in kind of her pointing my account in the right direction because I was definitely an outlier in that situation. Long story short, I ended up getting it back, and, we've been good ever since. But whenever this stuff does happen, I do try and speak out for other people. I try to help out the little guy in any way that I can because I know what it's like. I know what it's like to, play the game as legit as possible, like not spoof, not do any of that stuff. and just to get wrongfully banned after putting so much time and effort into the game, not to mention making YouTube videos, making content for the game itself. What I'm trying to say here is that don't just accuse people who do get these wrongful bans that they're spoofing or they're cheating. You have no idea what their circumstances are. Honestly, based on the Reddit threads that I've read just this morning, like there are plenty of players out there who don't use any third-party IV checkers, they don't use PokeGenie, they don't use any of that stuff. They just played the game completely vanilla, and they got banned. Now, of course, you can always doubt what that person is saying, like maybe they're not telling you the complete truth. I mean, that's literally what everyone always thinks, right, is that you're hiding something. But unfortunately, when it comes down to Niantic with their track record, they don't have the best track record of false positive ban waves. Now, with that being said though, let's move on over to our next topic of discussion in this video, which is going to be about spoofing in Pokemon Go. This is arguably the worst thing that you can do when it comes down to cheating, in my opinion. I mean, you have players justifying why they do it, and I'm not gonna sit here and argue with anybody about that. I still think it's wrong. I still think it just goes against the whole point of this game. Like, if you don't live in an area that's good for Pokemon Go, you could submit Pokestops, potentially. If you can't, if nobody else around you is doing that, then maybe Pokemon Go is just not the best game to play. And like, I hate to say it, but Pokemon Go is a game that's kind of based on what you have around you. And if you don't have very much around you, you're really limited on what you can do. It's not impossible to play, but to some people, they just use it as an excuse to spoof around the world and, you know, go to the super amazing cluster spawn areas and great Pokestop areas. And in my opinion, I just really think that's not playing the same game as everyone else. Like, when you brag about getting Shundos from spoofing, or you brag about getting certain Pokemon from spoofing, like, it doesn't carry the same value as somebody going out, hunting that Pokemon. Even if they're using, like, scanners and stuff, right, to find these Pokemon, they're still physically going there. They're still driving there. And to me, that's, again, it's my opinion of it, but I think that's more on terms of how you should be playing the game. I'm not going to say the scanners aren't cheating either to an extent, but when it comes down to teleporting to a location from the comfort of your home rather than going out to actually get that Pokemon or grind for certain Pokemon or extra large candy or whatever it is, yeah, it's completely different. And I really just feel like it's getting worse. Like, when I type in Pokemon Go on the search on YouTube here, and if you sort the videos by the day, you'll see spoofing tutorials almost every single day, man, like with tens of thousands of views. And it's ridiculous that these videos get so much attention and so many people are honestly spoofing in the game. Like, again, I'm not the Niantic police here. I'm not gonna, you know, flag your account or, you know, report you in game, but it's just ridiculous to watch it happen. I mean, I struggle with the spoofing issue in my local area. Like, I cannot place in gyms properly because spoofers will just take me down and stack in gyms. Like, it is extremely dominated by instinct spoofers in my local area. And every now and then I can get my coins, but unfortunately, if they just want to dominate the gyms, they can dominate the gyms. What can I do about it? I have to literally go to the actual location and, you know, battle them down, place in the gym, and they can just take me out from the comfort of their own home. So yeah, I do have my gripes against spoofers. I don't really consider it on the same playing field, and I do consider it one of the worst things that you can do in Pokemon Go. And here's the kicker. Niantic doesn't really ban these players. Like, maybe these waves are targeted at spoofers, but they don't really get banned that often. You see the same YouTube channels that put out so much spoofing gameplay, how to spoof, blah, 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 whatever. Their accounts don't get banned, they can play fine. And while Niantic is trying to fix this problem, ultimately legit players are just getting caught up in the crossfire, and it seems like more legit players are getting affected than actual spoofers. So I don't know what to tell you there. And that's just, you know, another point that I really wanted to make here is that spoofers will continue to spoof, and yet legit players who are actually spending tons of money on the game are getting affected by this. It's so backwards. Now, of course, I do want to dive into some of the other ways that you can actually cheat in-game, because while I do consider spoofing, and most people do consider spoofing to be one of the worst things that you can do in Pokemon Go when it comes down to cheating, there are other ways to cheat in-game. So going off Niantic's terms of service, they've listed that modified/third-party software, basically like any auto catchers like the Gotcha or like the Dual Catchmon or whatever, basically anything that just isn't official software like the Pokemon Go Plus or the Pokeball Plus, that is third-party software, and that is against the terms of service. So if you use a Gotcha, if you use any of the auto catchers that just aren't officially from Pokemon Go, that is against the terms of service, and you do run the risk of getting your account banned. Now, does that mean that your account is going to get banned for using these? I can't say. Like, again, Niantic's banning system is so bizarre to me. There is no way to determine if that is going to get you banned, but of course, you all have to understand that you're using these devices at your own risk. Additionally, on top of that, this also includes third-party apps like PokeGenie. Niantic has actually outright said it, that PokeGenie is a third-party app that can get you banned. Now, does that mean that using it is going to get you banned? I don't think so personally. It's a pretty safe app in my opinion. It doesn't really access any game information. It accesses all the game information based on screenshots. It's used as a remote rating app. And in my opinion, it's a great app. I was kind of against it a couple years back because I didn't know too much about it. But after doing enough research, I kind of came to the conclusion that this app is pretty safe for the most part. You still run the risk of getting your account banned by using it because it is a third-party app according to Niantic. But do I think it's going to get you banned? No. Can it get you banned? Yes, unfortunately. So yeah, let's move on over to the next one, multiple accounts. Here's the thing with multiple accounts, guys. Many players do it. Many top players use multiple accounts. Many top PvP players use multiple accounts. I've seen it on Twitch. They're kind of open about it. Like some of them are more open about it than others. And, for the most part, I don't think it's that big of a deal when you're using multiple accounts to help out people in raids. It's kind of debatable in PvP, I guess you could say. Some people, they use their alt accounts to get extra large candy, like, they'll stock up on distance Pokemon, they'll trade it with themselves, and they'll get a bunch of extra large candy that they can then use in PvP, so that's kind of a big advantage, which I do not really like that much, but it is what it is, right? Now, I will actually make a separate video going over extra large candy and kind of how it's affecting PvP as of late. I actually have a great topic to cover in regards to that and some great information that I've collected this season, but that's not really what I'm focusing on here. My main, point is that many top PvP players, they do use multiple accounts. I've even seen some Twitch streamers get multiple accounts to legend and just on the leaderboard. Like, you can see multiple accounts that they've literally played on the leaderboard. Once again, I am not the Niantic police here. I am not going to ban your account. I am not going to report your account, but this is what I see on Twitch. And you guys can go for yourself, go to Twitch, and look up Pokemon Go. You'll see some of the top streamers using multiple accounts. And it is what it is, right? It is what it is. Additionally, you also have sharing accounts. I definitely know a lot of people do this to get extra large candy as well, so it kind of falls into a very similar category. And then finally, you have GPS spoofing, which is something that we've already talked about. Easily the worst thing that you can do in-game, and arguably one of the biggest targets for Niantic when it comes down to actually banning players. So yeah, those are all the different ways you can cheat in the game. Will some of them get you banned? Can all of them get you banned? That is completely unclear at this point. I do believe that GPS spoofing is, of course, the main target. And some of these other ones, it's hard to say. I think at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, some people will abuse multiple accounts. Some people will abuse spoofing. Many players use auto catchers, so I don't even know what to say about that. I feel like a majority of the player base, definitely has a gotcha or, some form of an auto catcher. So yeah, that's tricky as well, right? So again, while all these reasons can fall under a potential to why you could get banned or why you could get flagged, nothing is, for sure, right? We don't know for sure. Niantic doesn't tell us. One thing I have noticed, though, as we dive into the next topic here, is that there's usually a common trigger for these false positive waves, right? So for example, in the last big wave, it was the phones, right? It was the Xiaomi phones. So that could have been software related, could have just not agreed with the most recent Pokemon Go update. We don't know the specifics, but we know it was those phones specifically, and Niantic even outright said it. So that's rare for them to do, but there's usually some sort of common trigger here. That's what I'm getting at. And this time around, for this current ban wave, it seems like it's iOS related. Many of the cases I've read through have been iPhone related, so again, if you were affected and you have an Android, let me know in the comment section down below, or if you were affected by iPhone, let me know that too. So the common trigger here is that many people were using iOS 12 and some even using iOS 15, the new beta version, and while this isn't confirmed to be the reason why they were banned, it definitely seems to be a common trigger. So there's something wrong with iOS and then either the most recent Pokemon Go update or just something along those lines, just not working properly, and that's why people are getting falsely banned. So yeah, it's just something that many players seem to have in common, and even one of Niantic's sponsored YouTubers from Austria was hit by this ban. And keep in mind, this is 5 years for him, right? At the time when I got wrongfully banned, it was 2 years. So 5 years and then get wrongfully banned after putting tons of money into the game, or I'm not sure if he's free to play or not, but putting tons of time and effort into the game, it's crazy, man. It's crazy that literally he is sponsored by Niantic at one point and he got banned. So that's what I'm saying, if you were affected, there is hope for you, because if their sponsored YouTuber got banned, there is a good chance they will try and fix this somehow, or they will try and figure out the reason and they will reverse a lot of these bans. I've watched it happen multiple times. I've lived through it myself, and I know it's not easy. It's so frustrating. But, well, what can you do moving forward? Let's talk about that a little. So I think the biggest thing you can do moving forward is to make noise on social media, comment on this video if you were affected, share your story, and keep appealing. Keep appealing the ban. I know it seems hopeless. I know it feels like, you're talking to a brick wall, but that's all you can do, unfortunately. Just keep appealing and make it known on social media. This is one of the main reasons I'm making this video, to spread awareness and to educate people and to hopefully get this out there. Maybe someone from Niantic will see this. We'll see. I do actually have some people follow me on Twitter that are associated with Niantic, so I'm sure this video will reach their eyes. Whether or not they watch this one all the way through, I have no idea, but if you are watching this from Niantic, well, hopefully you are able to fix something about this, or get it to the right people who can fix something about this. This will take time though, guys. This isn't going to happen overnight. This will take a few days at the very least for them to acknowledge what's going on. For the past 2 days, they've been pretty silent in regards to this, and this has made some pretty good noise on Reddit as well as Twitter. So we're definitely seeing a good trend in terms of that. The best thing that you can do in these situations is to continue to spread awareness. That's what I did to get my account back eventually, and I think it kind of worked. Again, I'm a YouTuber. It's a little bit different for me. For the average player, it's a little bit more hopeless. I hate to say it. But collectively, as a group, you guys can actually make a difference. So don't give up. Just band together. Your voice might be small individually, but together you can definitely make a good impact. So that's my recommendation to you. Now, one additional thing I want to mention, if you guys are trying to get refunds from the Pokemon Go app, or you're trying to get refunds from the Apple Store or the Google Play Store, is that Niantic can actually permanently ban your account for doing this. Like, there's almost no hope to get it back if you are able to successfully get your money back from this game. I feel like that's a class action lawsuit waiting to happen, in my opinion. Just the idea that they could not give you your money back for falsely banning your account. Yeah. We'll see if anything happens in the future, but as of right now, no one's decided to go that route. I know there's a whole arbitration clause that you agree to, but if enough people band together and if enough circumstances present themselves, which I do think they have at this point, Niantic could face a class action lawsuit for this. With that being said though, I believe this specific wave will get resolved sooner rather than later, but either way, I think it's important to present this information for what it is. I know most Pokemon Go YouTubers won't talk about this. I'm not one of them. I do try to be pretty transparent with all of you guys. And just in general, the Pokemon Go community, not many people make content like this. And again, it's like different than what I'd normally make on the channel, but I do think it's important to talk out about it and, make sure that your voice gets heard. Again, I've been in your situation before. I know the frustration. I know it feels like no one's listening to you and Niantic support literally doesn't care. So with that being said, though, I think that's everything I got for you guys in this video. Again, we don't know the specific cause. We think it's iOS related as of right now. If you guys want to read through the Reddit threads, I'm going to leave the links to all of them in the description below. Feel free to check them out, read through the comments, and, keep making noise, guys. Keep making noise, keep appealing. Those bans, they are wrongful, so you definitely do have the right to get your account back. And don't give up, comment below, share your updates. I look forward to reading everything. And other than that, guys, I think that's it for this video. So if you could, hit the like button if you can. Subscribe for other Pokemon Go content on the channel if you're interested in that. And I will see you all real soon in the next one. Best of luck.